Hi, welcome to another episode of spyt-takes. I'm your host, Jens Anderson, aka Spytle, and this is my co-host, the lovely Eleanor Anderson.
Hello. How formal.
Yes, sometimes I like to whip that out, you know?
Really?
Yes, introduce you in the most regal way I can.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And this is Penny and Bunsen as well, joining us on the couch here, who will be making their presence known to you visually and to us through our noses as they continue to rip terrible farts, which is happening right now.
Ugh.
Be glad this is not smell-o-vision. Anyway, yeah, take that ass out of here. We're here to talk to you tonight about the latest episode of Arrow, which really had a lot of action going on to it and saw the return of Oliver Queen to Starling City. So a little backstory to fill you in. Obviously, Ollie was mortally wounded by during his fight with Ra's al Ghul, and was saved by his old friend, a member of the League of Assassins, and his wife, or former wife? No, they're still husband and wife. Tatsu.
They're just estranged, right?
Who actually is Katana, or going to be Katana in DC Comics as far as characters go.
Every time I see her, I think of Katsu.
Katsu?
Yes.
Why?
Like pork katsu, chicken katsu.
Oh, God.
I do. The first time I heard her name, I'm like, Katsu? I was like, wait a minute.
Isn't that something yummy I order?
Yes.
I like that actress too. She does a good job.
She's very good.
But she's still nursing Ollie back to health, and they take off and are heading back, leaving Nanda Parbat region and heading back to Starling City. And she goes with him to keep him healthy, and they travel through the wilderness. And which really gives you this sense of it's not so quick to get to Nanda Parbat if you wanted to, like it was in several episodes before. Maybe it's like a Lost thing. It's like really quick to get in and takes forever to get out.
Yes, they're all actually really dead.
Some kind of mystical portal that takes it's slow in one direction and fast in the other.
Where you can fall from really like tremendous heights and still live.
Gravity is different there.
Maybe that's why.
Exactly. So,
come here, honey.
we basically see this journey, and again, anytime Ollie is alone in a remote location with maybe one or two people that he's talking to, he's always better. I don't know, when you surround him with too many people and too much support on the show, I don't care for the character changes in a lot of ways. It becomes a leader instead of a loner, right? A teacher instead of a survivor. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just feels different when he's in those situations, and I liked it a lot, all that stuff. So
I thought this episode was much stronger than the prior week.
Yeah, but you didn't get to see any man candy manscaping this time. Sorry about that. Come on, Steven, take your shirt off. The ladies love it.
Get injured again.
Yeah.
So you have to be bandaged.
Injured some more, and pop those pecs next time. Get a little rock action going there.
What is that? The peck pop of love. Now go on and throw a berry. Boom.
Yeah, I don't want like an arm injury. We need like a rib or a torso injury.
It goes a little too far if you start doing the Calvin Klein, like, oh, there's muscles that are pointing toward the groin thing.
Maybe like an upper thigh or buttock injury would be good.
Okay, that's enough. It's not funny anymore.
Am I getting too pervy?
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Anyway, so that was good, and he's on his way back. Meanwhile, in Starling City, wow, stuff's happening like crazy. The war with Brick has just overrun the Glades. Arsenal is doing the best he can to try and keep up with it. They're still very concerned about Black Canary and everything as well. But there's so much going on that he just can't keep up with it all.
Yeah, Team Arrow right now, they're pretty much just gnats.
Team Arrow. Oh my God. Who's your favorite? Team Arrow or Team Flash?
I like Team Brick.
You like Team Brick?
No, but seriously, they're struggling. The police aren't helping. And they're just doing whatever they can to just get this just to fight crime, just simple crimes that are
not
happening.
in the Glades though, right? Like elsewhere, they're not in the Glades. But Detective Lance is trying to help.
Yes.
Right. Paul Blackthorne's character is constantly trying to help. In fact, I love it. He meets with Arsenal, right? Felicity makes the joke. He calls Felicity. Felicity makes a joke about says, "I'm going to send Arsenal And he's like, Arsenal? Like, where do you guys come up with these names? So she sends Arsenal down there, and like Detective Lance like instantly recognizes him as Roy Harper. He's like, okay, Mr. Harper. He's like, what? What are you talking about? With his like voice modulation. He's like, dude, you're like this acrobatic street urchin wearing a red hood running down. It's not too hard to connect the dots here just because you got some more leather and lace on. Like, I love they call it leather and lace. And he's like, well, I guess I don't need this anymore. It turns off the voice modulator.
But yet he has no idea about his daughter.
I know, right? Well, he does now.
Well,
because in this episode,
yes,
like Sarah's friend basically says, that's not your daughter. Although what she should have said is, that's not Sarah, because that actually is his daughter. But it's Laurel, obviously. So things are starting to be.
Maybe Laurel should have also had the voice modulator and have talked really.
She does. Well, she has a voice modulator that gives her Sarah's voice.
Yeah.
She did that one time, which was kind of interesting. On the
I didn't
phone.
really recognize it very
yeah,
much.
well, I to be honest, full disclosure,
it would have been really funny if it was really super deep.
We never saw season 2, so we didn't really know Sarah as Black Canary very much, so I didn't recognize her voice at all. But anyway, we'll have to go back and watch that at some point. So Brick is running the Glades. He and Team Arrow starts to try and rally the troops, and they decide that they're going to get the citizens to kind of help fight back, which was kind of neat. And meanwhile, Merlyn is teaching Thea. And Thea's becoming more and more of a badass at fighting.
Yep.
And
she gives Merlyn a run for his money.
They start talking about being killers. And Merlyn sort of talks about all of the things that went into him becoming Merlyn and becoming a killer, and the death of his wife and the murder of his wife, and him avenging the death of his wife. And in this episode, and that's what the flashbacks are. The flashbacks actually are Merlyn, happy, right, wealthy guy.
In this 1980s suit.
Yeah, and exactly. With a
hair.
very, very young Tommy. And the events just of that night of his wife's murder. We've heard about it before from his perspective in season 1, but we didn't actually see the events from back then. So this is, I think, the first flashback we've had of Merlyn. And it's really about Merlyn's origin, which is kind of cool. You get an origin story of him because this ties into events later. But he decides that he's going to avenge his wife's killing, and goes and tracks down off an anonymous tip from this cop who shouldn't have told him who this person of interest was, and actually murders this guy. And we learn in the episode that it wasn't this guy. It was actually Brick. Brick was the one who killed his wife, and so he murdered the wrong guy. And this really affects him pretty badly, I think.
Yeah, because he's thinking, gee, my life could have taken a totally different path.
Right. Exactly.
And I would not be in this position right now.
So
he's thinking I would have had Tommy. I would have had my, things would have been very, very different.
So he goes off and flees the city to go get training. He hears about this place, and he ends up actually in Nanda Parbat, and he's going to get trained by Ra's al Ghul. So that's how he sort of gets involved with the League and becomes this master killer. Right. Later on, there's this big fight, and oh my god, again, Laurel's actually doing better, right?
Yes.
This time around.
Except
this once. There's this big battle where all the citizens charge and the freaking Brick's men charge.
It's pretty, and it's almost medieval. It's like people have clubs, and I swear there's some guy with a shovel.
No, it was a machine gun. You were like, why is the guy with the machine gun holding it
He's charging with it like it's a club instead of using it. I'm like, you just stand back and shoot. You just don't go, I'm going to hit you with my gun.
I'm out of bullets.
So if you see that scene, you need to pause through it and just see the crazy shit that's going down in there.
I love how, in the first moments of the charge, Laurel is being, you see her, some dude has her over his shoulder, and she's kicking and screaming, and she's totally helpless. And then they cut away, and the next minute she's beating somebody up. But it was so funny. When they finished their charge, I looked at Ellen and I go, I gotta rewind. Is Black Canary being carried by someone down the street?
Yeah, and I think I also saw a centaur with an axe.
What was it? Narnia? All of a sudden. There was some talking seal charging the field. Yeah.
And then there's Brick, the other Brick.
Yeah.
You know when they get into the knife fight?
Oh, with
Anchorman.
Yes. Oh god, that's funny.
But
That
anyway,
one
it's that kind of fight. So yeah, there's all kinds of weapons being used that in inappropriate ways.
Yeah. So Arsenal, everybody, they're starting to kick butt, and all of a sudden this green arrow shoots in and saves somebody. Oh, and Wildcat shows up at one point. He's in this episode, Ted Grant, and he gets his ass kicked. He's got his mask on, which isn't very Wildcat-y, actually.
No.
He's got his mask on. He gives Brick a few punches, and then Brick literally almost beats him to death. Mm-hmm. Almost beats him to death.
Wildcat's doing okay at first. And you're thinking, hey, he's gonna go toe. He's doing pretty well. He's gonna go toe to toe. And then things just turn and go badly.
Brick's like, that all you got? And just beats the living crap out of him. Almost beats him to death. So he runs away down an alley, and Arrow shows up, and Merlyn actually has been stalking Brick at this point, wants to avenge his wife's death. And he's kicking the shit out of Brick. Like, Brick has no chance against Merlyn. No. He's about to kill him, and Ollie shows up and talks him off the ledge, and he makes a different choice. And he tells Thea that he was not a killer tonight. He makes a different choice. Meanwhile, Merlin's been wanting to work with Team Arrow on, finding and capturing Brick, his killer, and they refuse because Ollie would never. And then Ollie strikes a deal to be taught by him because he needs to beat Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. And so there's this.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And then
Felicity's pissed.
Yeah, she gets really angry.
She does.
She's just like, well, first he comes back and she's just been through an emotional roller coaster, right?
I know, but
I'll just say, I'm female, and when it's almost like even when the news is good news, because you've been through that emotional roller coaster,
you're mad.
There is just, emotions are just come flooding out.
How dare you put me through that?
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you. Slap.
God damn you! Why, you're alive. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know if it's a coping mechanism. I've
so
done that myself.
Relate to that
I can relate to that.
Oh, you have?
A little bit.
You've broken up with a guy who came back from being murdered by the world's greatest killer. That's you can. I've totally been there.
I told you not to go fight Roz. I mean, it's just like that time when you're asking for when you wouldn't ask for directions. No.
You never listen to me.
Never listen. So, yeah, she's pissed. I think she's a little overly pissed, but it's Felicity. Yeah. And it's drama.
So they break up, right?
Felicity and drama
go hand in hand.
Exactly.
So, good episode, though. And then of course, Ollie delivers this big speech on top of the back of a truck. That he'll never fail them again by leaving, and talks. I think it's like 50 people there or something like that. Brick is captured, not killed.
Like, swear to me. No.
No, not quite. So good episode, though.
Yep, I liked it. He's back.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Adam. So.
Yeah, I can't wait. They released a picture of his full armor, by the way. Looked really cool.
And of course, there's there's always there's some fanboys out there like, that doesn't even look like Adam, and then they'll show a picture from like the 50s or something, and you're just like, thank freaking God.
You don't want it to look like Adam.
High-waisted Adam. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, good episode. All right, so looking forward to the next one. And thanks for watching Spit Takes. We appreciate it. Leave us a like if you liked the video, and some comments here on YouTube as well. Until next time. Take care.
Later.